The new definition of giving someone their flowers. Happy Mother's Day to you and yours. Dorian Finney-Smith said he sent his mother flowers on this Mother's Day and then hit 8 threes in the win for the Dallas Mavericks. Welcome to Playoff Central Live, presented by AT&T 5G. And Sean, now this series is tied at 2-2. If I told you going into Dallas when the Suns were up 2-0 in the series, would you have imagined that we would be here now and what we're seeing?
I mean, really, no. And not only that, but Dallas wins a game where Luka is really not that efficient. If you never saw the Dallas Mavericks play this year and you saw this game, you would have sworn Dorian Finney-Smith is their best player, and it's a team-oriented team. But Luka, inefficient with the jump shot, but the Dallas Mavericks filled in with all those three-point shots. Dorian Finney-Smith closing with the three-point shots. Bertans hitting them in the first half. And all of a sudden, they started to avalanche, and Phoenix had no answer.
Yeah, we tried to figure out, okay, when's the last time that Dallas hit 20 or more threes in a game? In the first round, when they hit a franchise playoff record 22. Dorian Finney-Smith was 1 3-pointer away from tying the franchise record by singular player. But Luka, like you said, 1 for 10 from three-point range. The non-Luka members of the Mavericks, 19 for 33. We always hear Shaq and Chuck talk about, oh, the others. We need a game from the. This was that game for the Dallas Mavericks. Dorian Finney-Smith, the leader of those others in this game. But all those other guys really stepped up in a night where Luka was off.
Yeah, I mean, you had all the mothers around the country getting flowers, and Dorian Finney-Smith also got some flowers. And you can pass them around. You see Bertans there hitting shots. It was just contagious. Dorian Finney-Smith, everyone's following his lead rather than Luka's lead. And, look, I mean, when the Mavericks are playing like this, they look pretty good. But, of course, how much of this can they sustain from this game to the next? That's really going to be the trick. Again, they work best when the ball's in Luka's hand and he's creating and everything, and all of a sudden he's getting the double and the triple teams. But Phoenix said, you know what? We're going to leave some of his teammates open and let them beat us. Well, that was their choice. They left him open, left Dorian Finney-Smith open, left Bertans open, Spencer Dinwiddie open. And all of a sudden, that strategy backfired on Phoenix.
It's easy to talk about how the Mavs heated the Suns up from three-point range. But defensively, that was a different level because it's becoming consistent now. 3 straight games in which the Suns have 17 or more turnovers. And then Chris Paul fouls out of this game after having 7 turnovers in the last game. That seems to be a big red flag for the Phoenix Suns as this series is progressing.
Yeah, it was very tough for Chris Paul. First of all, he has the turnovers in the previous game.
What do you think of these fouls?
Look, a handful of them were pretty questionable.
What about this one?
Yeah, I mean, again, the referee has to be in the right position, right? Sometimes the officials are not in the right position to make the best calls. And, again, this one right here in particular,
the one he fouls out.
Well, I mean, look, I think he put his right hand out, but did it really cause a foul? Did it cause for Jalen Brunson to fall to the floor? I'm not so sure. I thought they were questionable. A handful of them were questionable. But again, having said that, if you're Chris Paul, you're a veteran, sometimes if you've got 4 fouls, you've got 5 fouls, you can't put yourself in position for the officials to make a judgment call like that.
Yeah, for Chris Paul, 4 fouls in the first half, played just 23 minutes, had picked up that 5th foul 3 minutes into the second half. I mean, he was really limited by that foul trouble. Very uncharacteristic of him. Jason Kidd and his Dallas Mavericks tied this series up at 2-2 after falling in those first 2 games.
Bump that lead back up to 14.
Yeah, I thought the guys executed coming out of that timeout. Phoenix made a run. We know they're a great team and understood the game was far from over, but Luka scores and then we get 2 stops and then Doe makes 2 threes. And that energy, again, defensively, trying to keep them from getting offensive rebounds, started our break and Doe capitalized on that.
What did your bench do today to get some separation? I know your bench outscored their bench by 10 points.
Well, we talked about Spencer, getting to the basket, making shots. Maxi's been Maxi in this series. And then we look at Frank. He makes a big 3 for us, too. being able to not just to play defense, but being able to capitalize. And then Davis was on fire. And, this time of the year, it's always, someone that you don't talk about that can give you a lift. And Davis was that for us, this afternoon, being able to knock those threes down in the first half. And then his energy and effort on both ends, he plays at, at a very high level for us. And he was great. So the bench was big. It was a great team win.
Jason, Luka and Jalen combined to, I think, draw 6 offensive fouls. Just what did you think about their awareness and their intelligence in those situations and to get the Suns in some precarious foul trouble?
Yeah, there was a lot of fouls called on both sides. There's, that's just, it's crew to crew different, but it's the playoffs. And just understanding when we talk about, CP, understanding when teams are in the bonus, I thought JB and Luka and those guys did a really good job of understanding when we were in the bonus. And so I think we're being taught by one of the best point guards ever on the other side of how to do things. And that's pretty cool this time of the year.
I was going to ask because it looked like at times Luka was almost out Chris Paul at kind of that his own game in that sense. How much do you think he recognizes that that's going on and just kind of has that awareness to be able to capitalize on situations like that?
Yeah, well, we talk about it all the time as a team when Phoenix is in the bonus, just understanding what certain players like to do to get to the free throw line. And we're trying to keep them off the free throw line, but I thought we did a really good job of attacking, getting into the paint. Again, as we've talked about, we truly believe when the ball touches the paint, something good happens.
Hey, Jason, knowing that you did not want to get down 1-3 in this series, what did you think about your team's grit once they got the lead and maintaining it and not losing any focus?
Yeah, I think coming back home, we just talked about one game, and that was Game 3. And once that was in the books, then we have to focus on Game 4 and now understand this afternoon what we had to do. We put ourselves in a position to win, and we finished it. But the big thing is just these guys are playing hard. They're playing extremely hard, and it's great to see, from picking up full court to diving on the ball, diving on the floor for the loose ball, protecting one another. It's really cool to watch.
Seems like there's a lot of shots to the faces going on. Is that something that you've noticed or have a concern about?
You just have to protect yourself. I know it's hard to do when it's a moving object. The game of basketball is about moving. I don't think that the shots to the face are on purpose. It's just someone's making a move, and once in a while someone's face or head gets in the way.
Jason, do you have a target number of three-pointers that you're wanting your team to take this series like you did last series?
No, this one's a little different. This one doesn't have a number, but we're getting up there close to 50, which is kind of cool because we're getting a lot of great looks there. We went through a stretch there where we got a lot of looks where we missed, but again, when the ball touches the paint, it's a layup or